Thanks for your interest in Miami Dolphins coverage on the Lads Football Network. Let's take a look at some recent clips from Alain Poupart from the Maven SI NFL Network. Two a time! And considering Fitzpatrick had played well over the last few weeks, considering the team has won 2 straight, considering the team looks as good as they ever have since Brian Flores has been here, are you surprised at the timing?
Shocked is more like it. I mean, this came out of left field, and I understand this is the new bye week that the Dolphins have because of the reshuffling of the schedule, but you mentioned they won their last 2 games, and here's a stat I dug up. Check this out. The Dolphins won their last 2 games by 26 and 24 points. The last time they won in back-to-back weeks, each time by at least 24 points, you have to go all the way back to 1983 when Dan Marino was a rookie for the last time the Dolphins did that. Ryan Fitzpatrick threw 3 touchdown passes against both the 49ers and the Jets. Dolphins are 3-3. They're a game out of first place behind the Buffalo Bills, who are not playing very good football, who don't look nearly as good as they did when they got off to their 4-0 start. We have reached a point where you look at the Dolphins and you go, whoa, this team could make a push for the playoffs, and they're legitimate. And then, boom, we throw this out. Completely shocked by the timing of it.
If a team called the Dolphins in the next couple of weeks before the trade deadline, and let's say they needed it, quarterback goes down, and they asked for Ryan Fitzpatrick, what do you think it would take for the Dolphins to trade Fitzpatrick, knowing how valuable he would be as a mentor, as a backup? They're still trying to get to the playoffs. Give me a number in a round that you think the Dolphins would have to say, you know what? Yeah, okay, we have to take that pick.
For me, if I'm running the Dolphins, I'm not even giving it a thought if it's anything other than a 2. And at a 2, I start thinking about it because here's the thing. Number 1, he is perfect as a mentor.
Absolutely.
For Tua, as a backup for Tua.
Yes.
And then you let him go. There's no other quarterback on the active roster. You're going to bring Sennett off the practice squad.
Yeah.
So that leaves them in the market for a quarterback. And if we're being honest here, it's kind of hard to imagine any team wanting to throw a second-round pick at the Dolphins.
Agreed. Yes. Yeah. I think it would have to be something like, let's say Andy Dalton gets hurt for the Cowboys. Something like that, where a team still believes they can win and they have nobody, like the Dolphins would be. And we have to do something. We got to bring in someone that's a veteran that could pick it up right away and could actually help us go to the playoffs. That would be desperation time, and maybe a team would be desperate enough to give the Dolphins what they'd be looking for, but it's probably not going to happen. I just thought it would be an interesting topic, just in case, because this is too
Greg, I'd have to look at the research. I can't imagine there's been many trades of a second-round pick for 30 years.
No.
For a soon-to-be 38-year-old quarterback.
No. You would never know. The Dolphins would never get a second, but I hear what you're saying. The value is different from what they would get, and that's important to note. Do you at all see any sort of adjustment, major adjustment, not just rookie to veteran, but everything, personality and so forth?
Not really, because looks like a tight group in terms of how they get along, and then Tua has fit in very well from that standpoint. As much as everybody on the team likes Fitzpatrick, the sense I get is that everybody likes Tua as well. So from that standpoint, it's not going to be an issue. From a pure on-the-field perspective, maybe the offense changes a little bit. Obviously, you have a lefty quarterback coming in for a righty quarterback, so there's that change. I would expect maybe fewer shots down the field with Tua at quarterback because the arm strength's not necessarily there. Perhaps more rolling out and maybe more shotgun because that suits his skill set maybe a little bit more. But overall, in terms of what it means from an intangible standpoint and chemistry and all that, I don't expect that it changes a whole lot.
All right, so then if you had to pick a player on offense that you think might benefit the most from the switch?
That's a good question. That's a very, very good question. Since I see Tua as being perhaps more of an intermediate and short passer than Fitzpatrick is, so maybe the tight ends would benefit from Tua being in the lineup.
Okay, because not only has Gesicki, of course, looked good at times, but now all of a sudden Shaheen has quietly played well. And this is a guy that was drafted pretty high, so he's got talent.
Yeah, but before I address Shane, one thing that Tua is not going to have with the Dolphins that he had at Alabama is 5 or 6 seconds in the pocket.
That's true.
To really set up and chuck it down the field.
Big difference. Yes.
So one of his 4 first-round wide receivers. Completely insane to think about.
Yes.
No, Shaheen, as you mentioned, I mean, former second-round pick from Ashland, didn't pan out with the Bears. A lot of it had to do with injuries. And the this is a great trade for the Dolphins. They throw like a really late-round pick, see what the guy can bring in, and now you got 2 really good receiving options at tight end with him and Mike Gesicki.